This is Jablam Hockey with your hosts, Peter Bojarinoff and Paul Swinbeck. Welcome to Jablam Hockey, folks. I'm your host, Peter Bojarinoff. You can find me on Twitter at Russian98. And I'm with
Paul Zwambag. You can find me at Zwambag, Z-W-A-M-B-A-G. How's it going, everybody? Peter, what's up?
Well, not much is what's up. We just finished recording the previous episode of the season preview for the Eastern Conference, and now we're going back to back, and we're doing one for the Western Conference. Wow, somebody just hit a Maple Leaf in the head as we're watching this. Of course, I'm still watching the Leafs game in the background. And no, Connor Carrick just ran into Pulkkinen for no reason. That's what it looked like happened. All right. Anyways, so if you want, again, check out the previous episode we just did, our preview for the Eastern Conference. Paul and I had some pretty much similar thoughts on where we thought teams would be. But again, I had Ottawa making the playoffs, and Paul had Ottawa way out there. Right, Paul?
Yeah, I think they're dropping to the basement, so listen to
and
that for why.
And a lot of people don't. I don't know if a lot of people expect Philly to play well, but we both had them way up there in the Metropolitan Division, right? Yep. So check that out. And now we're doing the Western Conference, and let's start with the Pacific. I got them at the bottom. I know a lot of people expect Arizona to really step up and maybe even make the playoffs this year. I don't feel that it's going to happen. They're still young. They're still in that transition phase of getting those younger players and getting better. I don't think they're going to improve a lot.
Come on, believe in Louis.
Domingue, the Mexican? I don't know. No, he's not Mexican, but I like calling him that. I don't know. I just don't see it. Mike Smith's still not good enough. And, yeah, I don't know. It's tough to bank on these Coyotes to taking the next step still. I love Domi. I see Domi stepping up even more this year. He's my player to step up. And my underrated guy is still OEL, Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He's a stud. Not a lot of people talk about him. But again, it's not enough. It's not enough for this team to start going up in the standings. Where did you have Arizona?
I have them fourth.
Woo! So you had them basically making the playoffs?
They're just out of the playoffs.
Just out. Okay. So you have, of course, more Central teams making the playoffs, which is very predictable.
Yeah.
Who do you like out of the Coyotes, or what do you expect out of them?
I think Domi's going to be the scoring leader, and Martin Hanzel's going to step up.
Wow, finally.
Yeah, finally. The old vet. Playing with a bunch of kids. Dylan Strom's going to be pretty good this year. Christian Dvorak, I don't know if he's going to make the team fully.
Yeah.
It's a question mark. And Jacob Chychrun. Oh, man. This kid's going to be good.
Yeah, but again, he's a defenseman. He won't make that much of an impact, in my opinion, especially in his rookie year. It's not enough for this team to move up in the standings much, in my opinion. Who do you have in the 7th spot?
Vancouver.
Yep. All right. I have them in the 6th, so we're close. But how are they? Why are they leading the Pacific so far, Paul? They're the best team in the Pacific. They're the best, Paul. They're unbelievable.
Yeah, it's not going to stay that way.
Nobody's expecting this. They're even shocked that they've done this so far. Some come from behind wins, right? Wow, against St. Louis too. We'll talk more about St. Louis later. But yeah, I do expect Horvat to step up a lot this year. So I think that will help them, at least take them out of the basement, which everybody's expecting Vancouver, just like yourself, to be in the basement, to be last place in the whole NHL. Am I right?
Yeah, I've got them as the basement team.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to be that bad. I don't know why, but I just don't think they're going to be that bad. But of course, I got to put Willie, their coach, on the hot seat.
Hot butt.
There you go. It's an easy one. But yeah, come December, January, and the team is still, down in the bottom. You got to make changes, and he could be one of them. Paul?
Awkward silence.
I thought you were going to say something. Don't you have something to say about the Canucks?
No, I don't think they're going to be good, and that's just that. I don't have anything good to say about them. They're going to be a bad team.
The Sedins are old, man. Do people still expect those 100-point seasons that they used to do? No. The Sedins are great. They still know each other, what each other is thinking, where they should put the puck. Beautiful saucer passing. But they're not super all-stars anymore.
No, and they brought in Louis Eriksson to play with them, and they have chemistry. They had chemistry at the World Cup playing for Sweden, but I don't think it's not going to help. It's not going to help. Their defense is awful. Their bottom 9 is awful. I don't like the team whatsoever.
I've been saying this for years now, at least 3 years, that they've got to rebuild. Bring in Eriksson, I don't know. What do they want? More mediocrity? I don't know. But that's where they should be. They're at the bottom. Who do you have as your 6th team then?
Yeah, I really flip-flopped 4, 5, and 6 in this division, but I ended up with Edmonton.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Defense core, they needed to fix their defense core, and Adam Larsson just isn't the answer. Oh. He's gonna be good, but it's not. It's partially fixed.
In my opinion, it's goaltending still. I think Cam Talbot is not the answer.
Oh man!
And I said this when they made the move, when they gave him that contract. I think Talbot's on the hot seat for myself. And you know what? If he struggles bad this year, there's going to be so many more question marks about their goaltending. He's going to be even worse. It's like just like all the other goaltenders that went there and imploded. We're all happy to see Dubnyk succeed by going to the Wild. But even when he was there, everybody thought Dubnyk was done and he would never play goalie in the NHL ever again, too, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's happened to some of the goalies going there.
They're not doomed. They got the monster.
Yeah, the monster's good, but he's always had health problems with him, with his heart and everything. So that's why he could never really succeed well being a number 1. So I think that's going to hurt them, and I think Talbot's on the hot seat. They're underrated guys that will step up. Again, the guys that will step up that a lot of players aren't talking about. Puljujärvi, he's going to have a solid season. The kid stole my number. There's a number 98 in the NHL. Damn you, Jesse. And Draisaitl's going to have a great season as well. If he's getting minutes too with McDavid, he's going to blow it out the water, and he'll have a great season as well. And my underrated guy is Maroon. I think he's a great player that will fit well even on any of these lines with the kids, and he'll be a good physical presence just like Lucic is on the top line.
Yeah, I think Lucic is going to step up. He's going to get back to his Boston form.
Yeah.
Like his early season Boston form.
And he will for the first year or two with them, but then later as his career goes, he might slow down. So, yeah. But at least it'll help the Edmonton Oilers right now, and I got them in the 5th spot.
And stop the presses, Peter. McDavid's going to be their leading scorer.
No.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. I don't know about that.
He's so fun to watch, man.
McJesus is a stud. He is amazing. His skating, his angles, beautiful.
Yeah.
A beautiful thing to watch. As I like to call him, McGoliath, because he's not David. He's amazing. And do you think he will or could win the Art Ross this year?
Yeah, very, very good chance of it.
Yeah,
especially Crosby being out for who knows how long.
Yeah, and I don't expect Kane to do what he did last year. I totally don't expect that.
No.
If Kane hits 100 points, I'll be shocked. So, and I'm expecting McDavid to hit 100 points this year. So, we got them in that spot. What did you have in the 5th spot then?
Calgary.
All right. A lot of people picked Calgary to be way up there. You're picking them not to make the playoffs. I wasn't sure where to put them. I have them all over the place. Them, Anaheim, even LA, I didn't know where to put these 3 teams. So you have Calgary in the 5th spot. What are you expecting from them?
Brian Elliott to cave in and not be a good goaltender.
I'm kind of the same way on the fence. But you know what? I kind of like Chad Johnson. I think he might be underrated and might step up.
No, I don't think so.
Now, shutting that down.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the move by getting Elliott. If they had made the move to get Bishop, yes, I would have automatically put them way up there. And I didn't know where to put them. Right now I'm lost. The 2, 3, 4 spot for me is just mixed up between Calgary and I'm in LA. But I'm expecting them to maybe squeak in and make the playoffs for me. An underrated great player, or at least player to step up maybe this year, is TJ Brody. A lot of people don't expect. I don't know if they know about TJ Brody being one of the better offensive defensemen in this league.
I don't really follow him that closely, so I
Yeah,
see him on the stats page every once in a while, but it's not a guy I look up or
Yeah,
see
exactly.
out on
But
the ice. I just don't. He doesn't
it's
catch
weird.
my eye.
Yeah, it's very odd. He does same as me, but it just seems like he's always up there, being a great player for them and putting up some decent points here and there. And then again, my underrated guy, and if they make the playoffs, he might help them and upset some teams in the playoffs, is Troy Brouwer. I didn't like the contract to begin with, but he might be a good veteran leader for this team to get them to the playoffs and maybe, again, upset somebody.
Yeah, I got where's my list? Sean Monahan. That's my leading goal scorer. It's gonna be.
Did you see that the other day? He had another game-winning goal in overtime or whatever.
He's awesome.
He has 6 game-winning goals in overtime or whatever in his career. How many years has he been playing? Two seasons?
Yeah, he's gonna kill Joe Sakic's record.
Oh my God, he has already tied the leader for the Calgary Flames, obviously Jerome McGinley, in that category. That's outstanding. I was so pissed. I went on the internet in my other Yahoo pool, and they're not counting game-winning goals. I'm like, how are you not counting game-winning goals? I should have got one for Monahan. That bothered me. But good for him, and yeah, he's going to help them. He will win them some games too. So that's why I think Calgary will make the playoffs. For me, in the 4th spot at least, I don't know what's going to happen with them, is the LA Kings. I think they might not make the playoffs this year. I had them in that spot even before Quick got injured. I think Quick is a little overrated, especially during the season. But again, I have Quick in the hot spot. But now that he's injured, he might not be in the hot spot just because of that. If he was healthy all year and he had a bad season, then he would have been more in the hot spot. And again, player to step up is Tanner Pearson. I think he's going to get all the opportunities to succeed and at least put up like 45, 50 points this year.
I agree. Pearson's my step-up guy.
Yep.
I have Los Angeles as number 2.
Wow, way up there. And do you still expect that out of them?
See, I did the same. Los Angeles, Anaheim, Arizona. I had them flip-flopping, mainly just Los Angeles and Anaheim, 2, 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think LA is going to be decent. I didn't put into perspective how badly Quick is out, or how long Quick is out for. So
looks like he's going to be out for 3 months. That's what they say. So if he really is, yeah, they might pick up some goalie. Maybe they might bring up Budai and he might start a few games for them, but it's not going to be enough. This team is so up and down during a long NHL season, and that might be enough for them to be a borderline team or maybe not make the playoffs. So a lot of question marks there, especially with Quick out. My number 3. Who did you have then 4? Did we mention that?
Arizona, I had at 4.
Yeah, you had 4. Yeah. All right, and number 3, you had
The Ducks.
The Ducks. Same here. A lot of people are expecting Ducks to just fall apart. I don't know why. Again, as per usual, the Ducks always start bad. I'm even expecting maybe even Carlisle on the hot seat and get fired. I predicted it last year with the Penguins, that they were going to fire their coach and struggle coming out in the first 2 months. I'm predicting the exact same thing with the Ducks. Come out flat, not do so well, and maybe even Carlisle gets fired. But they still turn it around, and they still end up with a decent position in the Pacific Division.
Huh.
Yeah? I'm expecting that from the Ducks this year. They're still having problems not signing Lindholm. Will that be solved? I don't know if that's going to be solved. He wants way too much money.
Yeah, and they need to free up cap space, and I don't know where they're going to get that free cap space from. So
Unless there's some big injury. So
I don't know if he plays this year.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking the exact same thing. But again, my underrated guys will fill in that, and that's Vatanen. So underrated. He's going to step up, and he's going to have a decent season. And I don't know if a lot of people are expecting it, but I still think John Gibson's still going to have a decent year.
Yeah, I tried targeting him in many fantasy pools. I didn't get him, but I tried to target him. I think he's.
Where did you try to target him? 4th round, 5th round, or much later?
I think of 5th or 6th round.
Yeah, I think that's too late, especially if I still think, and it's weird. A lot of people projected the Ducks to be bad. I don't know why. They're still a good team. They still have a good core. Their defense is very good, underrated, and yes, young, but they're getting more experience now. So, and again, it was so odd last year with Corey Perry being so flat in the playoffs. So, very odd. And yeah, we both have him as the 3 team. You had LA as number 2, right?
Yep.
And so that means we both have the Sharks as the team leading the Pacific Division.
Yeah. Martin Jones.
Dr. Jones. He's out there. Underrated. I don't know why he's still underrated, but he is. It's my boy, Pickles. Vlasic is still underrated. But again, I guess it's just because he's a defensive defenseman. He's great. And a player I think is really going to step up is finally Thomas Hertl. I think he's going to put up some decent points.
Yeah, I think he could have a good season. I think Logan Couture is going to step up big time.
Yeah. Well, he did very well in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I think he's going to have a real good year this year.
So, if the Sharks somehow fall flat and, maybe barely make the playoffs or, lose in the first round again, who's on the hot seat then? Is it Joe Thornton again? Are we going through this again?
No, I don't think Thornton or Marleau can be on the hot seat. They're sticking with him. They will ride that out.
Yeah, they've passed through that barrier the previous years, and I'm expecting them at least to pass the first round. So still, that won't happen. All right, let's go to the Central. At the bottom, I got them. Colorado Avalanche. They're in a bit of transition now. New coach, Patrick Roy is gone. I think that's a good thing. I don't think he was a solution for them in the coaching position. But, they got to give this new coach some time, some feel. How many players are really going to step up? Are they ready to make a transition and move up the standings? I don't know. I don't think so. I think Grigorenko is going to have a decent season for them. He's going to get the opportunities. But a guy on the hot seat, which has always been an issue with the Avalanche, Paul Stastny, Eric Johnson, Ryan O'Reilly, is the next question mark Matt Duchene? Are they going to question him too now? I don't know. I have him being a bit on the hot seat for them.
I hope not.
Yeah, me too. But it just seems like that's what the Avs do.
Yeah.
Their management, I don't know.
It's an easy target.
So,
and thankfully, Matt Duchene handles it well and just keeps playing.
Yeah. Where do you have the Avs?
At the bottom as well.
Yeah.
They're another team that I don't feel like their roster is very good.
Yeah, exactly. Tyson Barrie's a good offensive defenseman, but again, that's all he is. There's still the defense is, not great. They don't have great depth in the offense. Maybe Landeskog's not the answer as a captain. Giving it to him so young. Maybe, they say that about a lot of these younger guys, but for Landeskog, that could be it,
Yeah.
But again, you still have to build a better team around him, and they haven't done that.
I have him stepping up this year, so.
Yeah, I love Landy. I think he's a great player. But yeah, it's a lot on his plate, and the GM and the coaches, especially the GM, haven't helped support the team and at least bringing the right players back and keeping them. They're trading off these guys, and they're not getting good pieces back either. But hopefully Grigorenko is one of them. And again, Zadorov in that trade, he becomes a good stud for them. But again, it's still young. He's still young too. And he might get that full season in here too. But I don't know. It's still a few years away of making a next move. Hopefully they get some more younger good pieces to help them transition faster. Who do you have in the 6th spot?
My 6th team is Minnesota Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Missing the playoffs.
Me too. I do have them there. They made the playoffs, right? But I don't know. A lot of these, I guess we're all expecting Nashville and Winnipeg to take the leap now with these young kids and these newer players that they've got, right?
Yeah, I don't think signing Stahl was a great move.
I think it was, but
Really?
I think it was if they're a playoff team. He will be a good addition as a leader to be a playoff team. But again, they don't have enough pieces to get them there, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know. Minnesota's one of those weird teams that just they play solid hockey but don't look good.
we'll see what happens. I still don't know. I have a big question mark as well with them. And now it's Bruce behind the net, behind the bench.
Yeah.
So that might be a good thing. And that was one of the reasons why in the offseason I thought, okay, you got Stahl, you got Boudreau now as a coach, and Dubnyk is still a pretty good goalie. And you know what? They have a decent core, but maybe not a great core. So you never know. They could still somehow be one of those sleeper teams to be just on the edge and make the playoffs. They could be that. But we both have them, as well as I do, in that 6th spot. Underrated is Charlie Coyle. He's a great player. And even Suter. He eats up minutes like a madman. So hopefully he can help lead them to the playoffs again. But,
and I think Dumba's going to step up.
yeah. All right. And then I have in the 5th spot is the Jets. That's where I'm putting the Jets. I still don't think that they're maybe going to make the playoffs. They're transitioning to these younger kids. They're going to be great. But again, younger goalies, I don't know how many wins they can get for them. Obviously, Pavlik's out. Now it's time for Hellebuyck to step up, and hopefully he does. And I have him up there stepping up. So he's going to get a fair bit of wins, but he's not going to get that many games as well, right? He's not going to. They're going to go 1-2 with these two.
I think they will for about a month, and then they'll realize that Hellebuck's winning more games and low scoring games. Hellebuck's a way better goalie than Hutchison.
Yeah, he is. But I don't know. I still think they might go 1-2, and you never know what happens during the season. And as well, I have Ehlers as an underrated guy because everybody's talking about Line A. So I think if he keeps on getting the minutes and plays with these guys once in a while, he'll have a very good, solid season.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Line A.
Yeah. But yeah, Ehlers, I think he'll still have a decent season. Where did you have the Jets?
Third,
number 3.
Yeah.
All right. So why are you picking some of these other teams a little lower? We'll see. Who do you have in the 5th spot?
Nashville Predators.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think Pecorine is going to lose his net. I really do.
There you go. Perfect. And I picked him to be on the hot seat. This is in a big season, and I think we've already mentioned this. A lot of people think that Rene is not as great as he used to be. And is it time to start playing maybe Saros?
Maybe, or Mazinek. Mazinek could steal the net.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. And if they do that, hey, maybe they make a smooth transition because they have such a good defensive back end. And again, my underrated pick is Roman Yoshi. He is so underrated.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to be another top. Is Yoshi top 5? I don't know. He's top 10 for sure, though.
Yeah, I would say top 10. I don't think top 5. There's a lot of good defensemen out there.
Yeah. So he's a stud, and the rest of his defense and core, even like Ellis, is so underrated. So they, in my opinion, I have him as the number 3 pick. I'm still ending up pretty well. Rene still might be decent enough to help them get to that spot, and if they don't go with him, their goalies back there are actually even better. So if they play them more, that might actually help them, in my opinion. All right, and then my number 4 pick is the Dallas Stars. Again, their question mark is in the between the pipes as well. Is Niemi or Lehtinen good enough to take this team far?
Yeah, I thought it was a great idea the beginning of last year when they did it, because I was like, yeah, teams haven't really done this, but it isn't working. The experiment is not working.
And it looks like they're going with it again.
Yeah.
And it's going to fail. They should make the playoffs, but again, when come the playoff time, it's going to hurt them again. Where did you have Dallas?
4th as well.
4th as well. Yeah.
Their running gun style of hockey is going to help, but it's not going to work.
Yeah. So, where is Jamie Benn on the Art Ross list?
4 or 5.
4 or 5. Yeah. A lot of people are actually picking Ben to be number 1. I was actually slightly surprised at that. I have him like number 3. He is that good. And if he keeps on playing with a healthy Sagan, easy. And my player to step up is Fosca. I think he's going to have a decent season for them. That might help them with their depth. Yourself, Ball? Anything else with the Stars?
No, not really.
No?
They got some young defensemen coming up. Essa Lindell is going to be decent. Steven Johns looks good.
Yeah.
But other than that, not really.
Cool. All right. So, in your number 3 pick was the Jets.
Yep.
So, are we done with all the rest of them? Pretty much. We just have the 1 and 2 left, and they're the same as well. But do you have, as I do, with Chicago being number 2?
No, I have St. Louis
obviously.
number 2.
That's what I figured. Again, I was shocked. A lot of people are expecting the Blues fall apart. Why? Is it just because Elliott's gone? Does that change their whole system of great two-way play? No, it does not. Right? Does that change their forwards coming back and supporting their D? Their D playing so well defensively? No, it doesn't. Losing Backes? Maybe? That's the first time I've ever seen Backes play that well in the playoffs. That's for sure. And so far he's looked decent as a Bruin. But, you know what? Sneakily getting Yakupov is going to help them. And, again, some of these guys are going to stop up. These kids, who are these kids that they have on their wings, right? They're great. They're underrated.
Ty Ratty? Is that who you're talking about? Ty Ratty's going to be real good.
He's going to be good. Even guys that we've seen before with Schwartz, now he's going to be healthy. I think he's back. He'll be fine.
Fabry, that's the other one I was thinking about as well. He's going to be good.
Oh yeah.
So he's going to be real good.
Again, that's the problem. The Blues, they don't have many superstar players. And again, I've said that kind of hurts them more in the playoffs when you need to count on a guy. And again, that happened in the playoffs when Tarasenko didn't continue to be as good as he was in the first round later on, right?
Yeah, and going back to Yakupov, Hitchcock has already said he really likes him, so that's going to be interesting. He's going to get a lot of playing time.
Exactly. And you know what? He's going to earn it too. Hitchcock's the guy, like, if he earns it, he's going to get it. Hitchcock's old school. And Yakupov knows the situation. I think I heard a bit of I'm not 100% sure exactly how he put it, but Yakupov did say he was kind of lost in Edmonton. When he wasn't around the team, he felt very lonely. And I think that impacted the type of guy Yakupov is, who he's kind of like a PK Subban. He likes being in a bit of the limelight. He likes being a flashy guy. And if you're not doing that 100% all the time, being in the spotlight and kind of lonely at parts of, your personal life, that's going to hurt your game too. And maybe that happened, and maybe that really hurt Yakupov in being 100% every single game there, working your butt off every game. And that's going to take its toll, especially losing all the time being on the Oilers, right? So the Blues have that core group that works hard all the time, that system, and that history of winning all the time, especially during the regular season. That's going to help Yakupov. And if he works hard now, Hitchcock will give him the minutes, and he'll start getting – he hasn't got it yet, but he will start getting power play time as well. So that's great for the Blues. And again, that's why I have him number 1 in the Central. I'm expecting Blues to still beat out everybody, play really well. A lot of people expecting them not to do well this year, but I do. And I still think Jake Allen's going to have a decent year.
Yeah, I'm not so hot on Jake Allen. I don't know. I think he plays in a very good system, just like Brian Elliott. Brian Elliott was made to look like a terrific goalie, and I think he's going to get shown the door in Calgary. So is Jake Allen going to be that good? Yeah, for St. Louis, but if St. Louis hinders their defensive game to try and build some offense.
Yeah, let's see what they do with Shattenkirk, right?
Yeah.
It's a contract year for him, and it doesn't seem like, especially the Blues, they're not that type of team to give somebody the big bucks.
Yeah.
And with the way they are with their team and how far they are in the salary cap, it seems like a player that might be traded at the deadline. So we'll see what happens with there. And again, I have the Hawks as number 2. You have them as number 1. Why are they going to continue to be that dominant, Paul?
Because there's the Blackhawks. They're solid up and down. They bring in Michael Kempney. They bring in Gustav Forsling. They sign Brian Campbell to cheap contracts so they can sit him. They ooze confidence and building of great teams.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to do it again.
I don't know. Again, I have them as the number 2. I don't expect them to be as dominant. Their depth is just not there. They've won way too many cups. They've been so successful that it's finally catching up to them. I don't know. Host is getting old. I still have him as a bit of an underdog. He's still going to be fairly decent for them. And my underdog guy, which I liked on the Leafs, and I thought they should have never let him go, is Richard Panik. He's going to get some time now just because the Hawks don't have the depth. So he will put up some decent numbers this year.
If you watch a Hawks game, watch for Tyler Mott and Nick Schmaltz. These kids are both fighting for, I think, one roster spot. They're both there right now playing, but I think they're going to end up, one's going to stay with the team, the other one's going to be sent down. They both are playing unreal right now for rookies.
They have to.
Yeah, they do. And
the Hawks.
They might be in the quiet Calder conversation.
Wow.
Because one of them's going to land on the Taves Hossa wing, and whoever does is going to benefit it big time.
Yeah, they're going to move players around. Panik's not going to be there the whole year. So some of them are going to get chances, but there's still so much holes in their depth, in my opinion, with maybe Hartman playing 2-2, a player that I'm kind of slightly surprised he's still in the NHL. Speaking of those gladiators being maybe extinct, right? And still finding a way to be in the Hawks lineup. So I don't know. I just feel there's a lot of holes in their depth now. These rookies have to step up a lot for the Hawks to continue to be an elite team. And I don't know. It's a lot of pressure. Maybe they will succeed in doing that, but I don't think it'll be a hard, long season, and I don't think they will be able to do that. And it might hurt them even in the playoffs too.
And
I don't know.
My underrated guy, I haven't given many, but Corey Crawford.
Oh yeah,
he's a much better goalie than people give him credit for.
Yep, that's for sure. He is. But I don't know. Again, even their holes in the defense, it's hard with TVR. I don't know if he's, good enough to step into the top 4. Hopefully, Kempney solidifies that, but we'll see. It's an interesting season. We've just made our picks. Some of them are very similar, actually, which is pretty interesting compared to like a lot of the experts picked it. But we'll see how it goes. And who are your top teams to go far in the playoffs?
The norms. I think Florida's going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. I really hope they do. I think they're going to rest Luongo more, and that's what faltered them last year. And I'm going to say Pittsburgh goes back there just because Pittsburgh. The Sharks will probably get back, and I would really like to see Winnipeg. Really would. They're another fun team to watch. Winnipeg and Toronto are two teams I'm going to look for on the schedule to watch their games.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch the Leaf games and the Winnipeg Jets games this year, for sure. But to go far, I'm going to go with the regulars in the East with, like, Tampa. Hopefully Washington can start doing it this year. I think that whole of being an elite team is shortening with them in terms of caps and everything and keeping players under contract. And the Pens. And then in the West, I'm a little unsure. Just because of, like I was saying, with the Hawks' depth, they're still a team you expect to go far and might be able to do it, because I don't know if there's any other teams that will go far, except for maybe the Sharks can go far again. So we'll see. That's our season preview episode for the Western Conference. We'll get back to you with the regular stuff next week, and we'll give you some award predictions. I know we did a little bit in this episode, but we'll give you some predictions that we're thinking about for a little bit of all the awards next episode. And we'll see you then.
Bye.